So now I'm ready to even add more ink to this. The beauty of having a position it is you can add as much color as you want. Here we have another beautiful petal point. It's called a brocade petal point from Clear Snap, and it is a wonderful assortment of their metallic inks. I'm going to take the Silk Green, which is a beautiful metallic ink, and I'm going to just add a bit of the green on the edges of the leaves. We can also take out the Royal Silk and add a bit of the Royal Silk color to the edges of our flowers. That little tiny, that fine point makes it quite easy to do this. So we're going to take that now, pick up the stamp with the top up and guide it back down into the corner. Remember, it's a big stamp. Get some good pressure over it. And look what we're doing. I'm going to reapply the ink and do another layer. Building and building and building this image. It's gorgeous. You could stop at this point. At this level you could stop because it is gorgeous, but I want to show you some other things you can do. Got me another stamp pad. Got me a gold metallic stamp pad from Clear Snap. And all I'm going to do, and I love doing this, we're going to add some beautiful glimmer and glitz just to the bottom of our image. I'm going to take that gold and stamp the image again. I think we must be at image stamping number 12. Look at what I've done. I've added, and it's just to the bottom. I'm just playing with this. In fact, I'm going to ink it and do it again, building that gold layer. Look at what we've done. So here we have this beautiful image, and I'm not done yet. You could stop, but I found that I want to add an old world flavor to my image yet, as I am going to be putting this image together with a picture of my daughter that is about 30 years old. And what I'm going to do is switch to Blackbird Fluid Chalk. Again, a blend. I'm going to use a stylus to apply the ink so I can control the amount of ink that goes onto my stamp. And I'm just going to give it a feather dusting of the fluid chalk ink as opposed to the pigment, because I do not want this strong. I want this just a very light coating. So you can see I've done a dusting of ink onto my stamp. And now over top of my gold, I'm just going to subdue that gold down, giving it an old world flavor. There we are. Now we have a choice here. We can either emboss this image, or we can heat set it using a hot dry iron. You take a couple of pieces of clean newsprint, get an iron that has no water in it, set it on high, and iron for at least 15 to 20 seconds. That actually fries that ink in place, and you can see it is now holding beautifully. So that is one choice. We can do that, or as I've done here, and I'm going to continue with this one, you can see I chose to add some clear embossing powder, and I've heat set it with my heat gun. So we have a nice raised image as opposed to a flat image. That is simply a choice. Both are beautiful. With the embossed image, I'm going to play a little bit more with it. I'm going to use a white foam tip that's reserved for my gold pigment ink. Offload some of it so that I have control of the amount of ink that I apply, and I'm going to begin swirling it over my embossed image just to add this wonderful gold cloud in behind the image. Not to worry about the ink that is sitting on top of the embossing, because pigment ink does not dry on sealed surfaces, so I can simply go in with a piece of paper towel and buff it away from my image. And then to pop that image, what I'm going to do is get a pigment-based pen and taking my pen and following along the lines of the embossing, because it's created a ridge here, so it's really easy to take my pen and just pop that image from our gold cloud in the background. Two beautiful projects that have been created using the images that we created in my Cathie Allan's Position-it, using the Photoshop layers technique without the computer. The card, of course, has as its main focus this beautiful happy birthday stamp that comes from Frog Whiskers ink, and we have continued the flavor of the card to the inside, so the inside does not disappoint, and there is the image that we did not emboss. So we have a beautiful card. Over here, I have used that same beautiful Photoshop layers technique to embellish a gorgeous picture of my daughter when she was only 5, and we have a wonderful scrapbook page, and on the inside you can see there's that same Photoshop layers technique used on white paper. In the background you see the stamp used in a stamp smoosh technique that I've published many times in a wonderful magazine called Scrap and Stamp Arts, and you can see we've just used one stamp throughout the whole, through both projects in so many different ways, from the very loose to the very precise, thanks to the Cathie Allan Position-it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and get your stamps out and go play.